how good can it be? Well, that is phenomenal. Hi everyone, welcome back to the garden. We're now coming up to the very end of August. It's been a couple of weeks since the garden tour, and I have been busy ordering plants. So today we're going to do a very small plant opening. I've still got another order to do, and I'll add that on at the very end. So we are from 3 different nurseries. We're from Big Plant Nursery, which I went to a couple of years ago, which was a fantastic nursery. I got 1 plant from there. Then my favourite little lesser known garden centre is actually all over in Wales in Clondwysl, which is Farmyard Nurseries, which has a huge collection of carnivorous Sarracenas and those kind of things, but they've got unusual things. They have a lot of Impatiens, so we've got some of those today. And then the last one will probably be from Pan Global. So let's open up some boxes and see what we've got. So here is my little collection. So first up is this from Big Plant Nursery. Now this is Schefflera alpina. Just the 1 plant from them. And it looks all nice and healthy, a little bit twisted on some of the growth, but not too bad. The new leaves coming through quite nicely there. So I've had this for a couple of days, and this is just over by the summer house at the moment, just out of direct sun, and then I will get it into a bigger pot, and this will be overwintered in a pot so I can put it in the greenhouse to keep the worst of the cold off, and then next year it will find a proper home in the garden. Now everything I bought, I do pretty much have an idea of where it's going in the garden, so this should not be my usual buy a plant and leave it in the pot for a year or 2 before I figure out where it's going to go. So that's the Schefflera alpina. Okay, next up is this smaller box which has, looks like some Impatiens in here. It's going to be a bit awkward to do one-handed. Let's try and find something to put this all in. Okay, so we've got a little trug, so we are going to start pulling this out. Okay, so that's the first box opened. So we've got this lovely 2 litre pot of Impatiens Omiana. So I've got the pink nerve over by the summer house, and I want to add the standard form to my collection. So a nice size pot of that. And then I did want another pot of it, but they had sold out, and they sent me a text asking me what they want me to do. And they offered to put in a couple of 9cm pots in place of the 2 litre. I was going to divide it anyway and get a few clumps around the garden. So they look okay, considering they've come all the way from Wales. They look gorgeous. I mean, look at the colour on that. Okay, and then I wasn't after these particularly, but you know how it is. You look through for what you want, and then you think, oh, while I'm ordering something, while I'm there, let's order something else. So this is Eucomis van der Marway octopus. So this has got some really nice spotting on the leaves. Obviously we all know the standard Eucomis bicolour and the giant form, the Evanescii, of which actually I've got my 2 Palmances over here doing well since I potted them onto their bigger pots. They were from a trip down into Kent. And then down here in this order we have, because I've enjoyed them so far, is another Trichtis. This is from Mosana Lady Clarissa. and that pot is, I can feel, absolutely solid with roots, so really nice healthy plants. And then down here we have 3 Lysimachia Christinae zixins, so these should form a really nice good clump over the ground, a nice carpet of these little round leaves with the red veining, and then little yellow with red veining flowers on them. So I've got quite a few Lysimachias around the pond area, so these should do really well. Now let's open up this box. Okay, I don't actually remember what else is in the order, so let's open this and find out what's in here. Ah, yes. So we have a few duplicate of things that I wanted. So alongside the Impatiens and the Lysimachias are these. Let's see if this will come straight out. Can you guess what it is yet? It's a Begonia torsa. So there's that one, and this one is also a Begonia torsa. So let's put them to the side and we'll have a look at them in a second. Then we have a plant that is quite dear to me. This is Fuchsia, I can never remember the second part, Fuchsia macrophylla. Yeah, Fuchsia macrophylla. So this is a small leafed fuchsia. I did have one of these already from Farmyard Nurseries when I visited them about this time last year actually. It's a lovely sized plant for a 2-litre pot. Not bad at all for £8.99, £9, and you've got this stunning fuchsia that you just don't get in normal garden centres. And these are really dainty little flowers, dainty little leaves on the macrophyllas. Yeah, I had one from this time last year actually, but like a lot of things, I bought it and forgot that I even really had it, and it got hit very hard in the greenhouse just by drying out. So it's bouncing back, but it's more like a 9cm plant rather than this one, which looks lovely and healthy now. Right, then we've got another Impatiens here. Oh, this is very, very pretty Impatiens. So there's that one. Now this is Impatiens Homiana Red Leaf from Cali Gardens. Open that up a bit so you can see. So it's got the lovely burgundy undersides. And again, the 2-litre pot, that looks very nice. And there's still more to come. 2 more. And this is the only garden centre that I've ever seen sell these, even though they're a fantastic garden plant pretty much across the whole of the UK. No one ever seems to sell them, and that is Roscoias. Now, Farmyard Nurseries has a lovely selection. They are at the end of the season now, so they were almost sold out of most of them. But these are the same as what is just down there. These are Roscoia purpurea dark leaf forms. So I love this one, and I want to get a couple more to go down past the greenhouse. So I thought, well, rather than wait another 3 years for me to be able to divide my own clump into a couple of small pieces, we'll just buy some. There we go. Okay, so it doesn't actually look like a lot once it's all out of the box, But we have these begonia torses. These look fantastic. Now, I love my begonia grandis, and I've seen people talk about the torso, and I was like, it's just another begonia, how good can it be? Well, that is phenomenal. Wow. Okay, and these are only in 2-litre pots, and they're putting out bigger than my hand span already. They're going to go great next year, and really not a bad price at all. $9.99 each. They're going to fill out some spaces really nicely. Then obviously we've got the fuchsia macrophylla. Just try and show you the size of them. So that's my thumbnail next to it. Really nice dainty little leaves. And then over here we've got the 2 Roscoea purpureas. Also they've had the tops chopped off to. This is a really nice Impatiens, hardy Impatiens. So as I say, this is Impatiens ormiana, red leaf from Cali Gardens. And you can probably kind of tell the theme that's going on with a lot of these plants. Dark green, burgundies and reds. And then the little Impatien ormiana standard forms, the unusual Eucomis, Trade Scantia, no, not Trade Scantia, sorry, the Trichtis, and the Lysimachus. So that is the plant haul so far, and obviously not forgetting the Schefflera alpina. Okay, and then one last plant. We went up to the garden centre up in Norfolk at the weekend, went to Taverham, where we normally go for the odd day here and there, and I didn't really find anything, so we decided to pop into Urban Jungles at Cossey, and I picked up this Canna. Obviously this is Canna Cleopatra with the dark variegated leaves and the yellow and variegated reddy orange flowers. So that's the first new canna added to the garden for a couple of years, and I want to get a few more. Okay guys, so we now have the Pan Global plants here. As you can see, weather has changed a little bit. It's a couple of weeks later. Everything else is doing fine, but we've got the Pan Global delivery. I've had them for a couple of days, so let's get these out of the box and see, because I don't actually remember what I ordered apart from one plant. So first plant coming out is going to be a Schefflera. This one is Delavii. You're joining me, are you? So Schefflera Delavii to go along with the other Schefflera that I bought earlier on, and then this is the plant I am most excited about. This is a fantastic little small tree shrub from Argentina called Polyepsis australis, and once it gets bigger and grow to about 5-6 meters roughly in the UK, it gets really gorgeous, like reddy brown phyllo pastry bark. You can almost see some of it in there already, but that's that one. Then yes, so we've got a Coniogramma fern. So my previous Coniogramma did get destroyed by the slugs last year, and if I can get this one open I will tell you what it is. This one is Coniogramma flavomaculata. So that should be hardy in the UK. but it will be going in the unheated greenhouse over winter just to make sure, and then it will be kept in a hanging basket to stop slugs getting to it. And finally, the last two are a duplicate, because I wanted a couple of them, and these are Beonias striata. So these are a small orchid type plant from Asia. So I'll be getting these into some pots again so that they can be overwintered in an unheated greenhouse. They should be hardy in the ground in the UK, but for their first season I don't want to risk it. I think that is just packaging. Yep. And then there is the second Beonias. So we've got a couple of small plants, and then a Schefflera, and then the Polypsis.